Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen Scarlet Pimp Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast with a financial read. So, if you've been having any financial setbacks or just not where you want to be financially, this is for you. And by financial setbacks, I mean somebody stole from you, you're losing money, you lost your job, you quit your job, or your money has just been up and down. Like you have money or you get money. It's just not a consistent stream or flow of income. It's not a smooth flow on the cycle of money aspect. So, without further ado, let's get into this layout. So, first things first, we have the spouse card, which is a past life card. But it is delivering us some messages as well concerning the present. But on the past life front, this is about looking at your parents, looking at the elders, not just in your family, but that you know in general. Look around at the relationships and marriages of older people in your life and in your surroundings, and look at how well they're doing, not just on a financial standpoint, but also in their dynamics, how they relate to each other, how they interact with each other, things that they've been through, things that they are going through, the way they talk to each other, the things that they talk about, the things that they do together, and the things that they do separately. Do they have individualistic identities? Do people see them as individuals? Do they tend to only see them as a unit? Or do they see one of them as the face of the whole relationship, and then the other person in the relationship is kind of like a co-star? So, for instance, Will and Jada are both namesakes in their own right, right? But depending on the environment or the group that you're talking to, many people may only identify Jada as Will's wife, whereas Will Smith is more of the face of the entire relationship. Okay? So I say all of that to say, not to slight Jada at all, because I know about the girl. I know about the things that she's done in the industry and in her career. But some people may not be exposed to that, whether they just haven't indulged in her material or whatever, what have you. Everybody doesn't know that Jada had a career before she got with Will. But I say all that to say, expand your view and your experience of the relationships that you are observing and identifying in order for this particular aspect that we're trying to heal and create more stability with, right? So, like I said, do some observation of the elder relationships that you're surrounded by and say what you see, okay? Whether you write it down, whether you meditate upon it, because that's giving you information of things that you both need to do and things that you are not going to want to do, okay? And one of those things that's coming up to me specifically that your divine realm wants you to know is that a lot of elders failed to discuss finances and money both before they were married and while within the marriage. And that often creates mishaps. This can result and has resulted in certain spouses having to pay loads of money in order to compensate for a debt that their spouse created. This has resulted and can result in both spouses being thrown in prison or one spouse going to prison for the mishap of another. Basically, or even one spouse being totally financially dependent and trusting of the other to handle all of the money and finances and things, and then one or both of the spouses finds themselves on the street because they didn't do their due diligence. They didn't make sure that there was a backup plan. They didn't discuss money. They didn't discuss finances. They didn't discuss morals and values as it concerns material wealth and financial gain and streams of income and things of that nature. They didn't discuss any of that until it was too late. And when it's too late, it's subject to be volatile. And through having those conversations, you may even find that your morals and values are not aligned, and therefore your soul contracts are not aligned. You may find that the one that you think is the one is not the one for you. And that could very well be a reason why a lot of people resist talking about money with their spouses, because they want the person that they want to be the person that's for them no matter what. And having those financial conversations, a lot of conversations, but having financial conversations in particular can indeed expose who is for you and who is not. And I don't just mean that in romantic senses, I mean that even as it concerns friends. So with that coming up, it's not a mistake. You may have a small business and you may have friends that think that they're supposed to get discounts all the time. And hell, you may even have friends that think that they're entitled to getting freebies from you. You may have friends that do things that mindlessly sabotage your money and mindlessly sabotage your business. And honestly, if we as a collective had more open conversations about finances, morals, and values, we could weed that stuff out ahead of time before it even gets to those drastic standpoints. And when you release that fear surrounding talking about money, it ends up domino affecting in a way that releases your fear around money as a whole, which will then release money's fear of you. You'll start to attract more money because you're on a frequency that is brave, courageous, and that is willing to collab and work with money. Money is energy. And with that being said, let's get into these Rebel Oracle cards that say, stop obsessing and take a shot. So, take a shot, double meaning. Take a shot is literally talking about take a shot of liquor. Now, let me be clear. For some of you, having a little taste will help you to open up. And I don't mean go berserk with it. I mean sitting down, meditating, getting your ducks in a row, and having a shot of liquor may help open your perspective and open your minds to certain possibilities and actions that you need to take, or certain emotions even that you need to purge. But listen, take a shot, not drink the bottle, not not do a whole homecoming showdown with the peeps for a whole week and get white girl wasted, okay? Take a shot. Have a glass of wine, okay? Okay. Now, for some of you, this is a message to make you aware that alcohol actually, in fact, hurts your money energy. Some of you have a pathology of alcoholism, whereas, and it can go a couple of ways. For some of you, you are surrounded by or engaged with, you have family members or a spouse that abuses alcohol, or maybe even just drinks a lot, or all out is an alcoholic. And for some of you, this person literally depends on you for money, and they use that money to support their habit. And for some of you, they may even steal or gyp you out of money to support their habit. Or there are some people that only fool with you when you have liquor or when you have weed and things of that nature. Things to look for and think about. And for some of you, because you still interact with people or family members specifically that have alcoholism issues, the energy of those people ends up seeping into your energy and hinders your monetary energy, your financial stability. And as you see these pops of red here, which is the root chakra, and the root chakra is all about protection and providing for, which essentially entails money matters, and which the other chakras can affect money matters as well. But the root chakra in particular is about earth, physicality, money, material, masculine energy, things of that nature. And so, a part of the protecting and providing for in this aspect is you all needing to protect and provide for yourself by removing yourself from people and energies and habits that are no longer serving you, and using that energy for better things, such as doing the groundwork to get a business started, doing the research to make sure you sound competent and come off confident enough when you're going on interviews and when you're networking and things of that nature. That will effortlessly create an attractive energy surround you that will make people want to not only give you opportunities and work with you, but also just give you money for the fuck of it. Which opens us up to the other meaning of this card, take a shot, meaning take a shot, shoot your shot, take opportunities. Don't wait for permission, don't wait for someone else to be able to do it with you. Take your shots, take risks, go for what you know. And a part of this also doubles back to the spouse card, because some of you need to be vulnerable with your spouse about your money issues and about your money concerns. Some of you may feel like it's shameful to ask your spouse for money, but this, like I said, goes back to releasing that fear over talking about money. Because for some of you, while I mentioned, that these conversations can break relationships that are not meant to be, these conversations can also make relationships and bring to your attention and bring to your awareness that you can actually trust the person that you're with. You can depend on them. You can ask for money without feeling shame or without feeling poor or like a gold digger or a hobosexual or whatever, what have you, whatever these negative adjectives are that you have attached to asking for help, that you have attached to asking for your spouse for money, that you have attached to having the money conversation, whatever that is, having the conversation for some of you is going to allow you to realize that y'all can depend on each other, not just emotionally, sexually, acts of service, but y'all can actually depend on each other financially. And for some of you, that's going to end up blooming into a spectacular business partnership where y'all will be able to make money together, generational wealth, okay, and be able to prove a whole lot of people wrong about marriage as a whole, about lifelong unions as a whole, not just the typical concept or ideal of marriage, but lifelong relationships, unions as a whole. And in order to get to that point, you have to first have the conversation. You have to open your mouth. Closed mouths don't get fed, honey. That's why that card is blue, which represents the throat chakra. And this is creating more enlightenment concerning how the different chakras affect money. The throat chakra often affects money in the way where when people are afraid to ask for help or talk about the things that will help them monetarily, it hurts your money. And sometimes for some people, you may see some people go around flourishing monetarily and they never ask for help. But that is not something that will last on a longevity sense. Eventually, one way or another, those things implode because as humans, as spiritual beings, as individuals, we are not meant to do everything by ourselves. We have to ask for help. And even the people who you think are doing it by themselves, or who they may even think that they are doing it by themselves, somebody had to help them one way or another, whether they are willing to acknowledge it or not. And that's how those types of people end up hurting their money in the long run, because they fail to acknowledge and show gratitude to the people who support them, because they want to think that they are doing it all on their own. And people who actually do most of their stuff on their own, do it all on their own, eventually they suffer from burnout and exhaustion, and they have a hard time even enjoying the fruits of their labor, because now they have to use the fruits of their labor to pay for medical bills and sitters and all of this other stuff to help build back up their health. So you see what I'm saying? I hope that's resonating, because it's very easy to look at other people's situations and compare and contrast and end up discouraging yourself because of what you think you aren't able to do and what you can't do and what you shouldn't do and all of that other stuff, which leads us perfectly to stop obsessing. Stop obsessing. You have to release your grasp on outcomes, release your grasp on money. And I know that probably sounds crazy, because when you're in need of money and you don't have money, or you feel like you don't have money, it's very easy to obsess. It's very easy to get worried and feel with anxiety about what's going to happen and this, that, and the third. But that's where faith comes in. And yes, it is easier said than done, but it is worth it. But that's why it's a big emphasis on opening your mouth and asking for help, because this is what I'm picking up for real. Many of you are having the issues that you're having literally because you refuse to ask for help. And you don't have to literally ask for money, but ask someone for opportunities. Ask someone if they know some different ways for you to make money. Ask for help. Talk about your situation. Even if you don't know how to formulate the question, express what it is you're going through and experience it. And if it helps, write it down first before you have the conversation with somebody else. But I'm seriously picking up, especially with this spouse card in combination with the Three of Pentacles, there are literally people around you that have exactly what you need, but you are not asking for help. You're not expressing yourself. You're not making yourself open to receive. And when you're not open to receive, you won't receive money. And a lot of you feel like you have been doing absolutely everything as far as the taking action aspect to try to get money. Like, you've been applying for jobs, you've been going on interviews, you've been, trying to get better with your consistency and things of that nature. But you feel like it's either happening in increments, or it's, it's not happening at all. Like, your efforts are going unnoticed. And the reason why that is because what's happening is very spiritual. And people often don't realize how spiritual money actually is. They like to separate, physical from spirit and all of that stuff, but in actuality, it all intertwines. And it's why a lot of people are having money issues now, because they have neglected the spiritual and energetic aspect of it, which concerns, like I said, faith, confidence, courage, bravery, the release of anger, releasing your grasp on anger, which leads into the heart chakra and how the heart chakra can affect your money matters. If you're holding on to heartbreak, if you're holding on to anger, if you're holding on to sadness, if you're holding grudges, if you're stuck on dwelling on things that have happened in the past and dwelling on things and people that have wronged you, you're holding on to so much that you don't have room to feel or receive anything else. So a lot of you have emotional purging that needs to happen through creativity, through expressing yourself verbally, or through expressing yourself by writing and things of that nature. And for some of you, it's a matter of just keep going. Just keep going, because it feels like your efforts are going unnoticed, but your divine realm just has you in a cycle and in a stage of building momentum and gaining a better understanding of processes, and also gaining a better understanding of yourself. Many of you, your divine realm has you in a state of remembering what it's like to be teachable, making yourself childlike again as it concerns wonder, curiosity, and learning new things. So you've been in this state of being re-educated, unlearning toxic things, toxic habits, traits that no longer serve you, releasing that and unlearning it. And you've been in the state of refilling those spaces with things that are healthier for you, things that are meant for you, things that are educating and enlightening you for the path that you are about to take. So like I said, for those of you that feel like you've been doing absolutely everything in your power, everything, you've been consistent, you've been posting your stuff, you've been, doing your pop-up shops, you've been doing your interviews, jobs, go sees, you've been doing that. Just keep going and just keep speaking light over yourself. And very soon, you're going to have an overflow of monetary blessings. It's just a part of that, a part of keeping going. Just remember the emphasis on speak light into yourself, speak light into your situation, be nice to yourself, encourage yourself, and also be vocal about what you're going through. I'm picking up some content creators. And so specifically for you all, you've been content creating and, posting your content, like I said, being consistent and this, that, and the third. And like I said, you still feel unnoticed. It's because your throat chakra is blocking it. And many of you have been resistant to the style of how people, like, there are people who only post content, right? And then there are people who post content and post behind the scenes talk about like the daily things that go on in their life. They talk about the process of creating their stuff. They talk about the pros and the cons of everything that concerns being a content creator and things of that nature. For some of you, if it's resonating with you, what you need to do is also make content out of your behind the scenes work, because that is a part of your expression, being vulnerable, being open about what's going on with you, and that is going to attract more people to your platform, because it's just something about y'all in particular. People want to know you. Like, they like your content, but they also want to know basically the story behind it, because they want to know essentially how you know what you know and how you do what you do. And this is not because you're untrustworthy or anything. It's just you're an interesting person and you have much more to say and much more to show than what you have been giving yourself credit for and what you have been putting out there. And everything I just said, honestly, pretty much encompasses that Three of Pentacles card. So I don't really have to stay too much on that, because I literally just read off of that card. Everything the messages that I just said entail that Three of Pentacles card. And like I said, people they watching you. They watching you, okay? They just waiting for the right moment to pounce. And that right moment to pounce is essentially when y'all's energy opens up to receive. When you get on a better balanced frequency to receive, that's when everything is going to start flowing, overflowing into your cup. So much so that you will have overflow to flow over into other people's cups. Now, before I go, let's double back to this spouse card, because I'm getting another message for some people concerning it. For some people, and this is specifically for people who are in relationships. So this can be a long-term relationship, or this can be literally a marriage. Y'all's money is taking a hit because somebody, whether it's you or the person you're in a relationship with, somebody is on a workaholic frequency. And this, again, understanding that money and finances is very spiritual. And so what we're talking here is longevity money, okay? Constant, consistent flow. And the reason why, like I said, it's taking a hit is because somebody is neglecting their relationship. Somebody's neglecting the heart chakra. And so that is causing money issues. And it seems like the divine realm is doing so in order to redirect the workaholic individual back home, redirect their attention back to the things that are truly important, which is the people that love and care about you. So for those of you that are resonating with that workaholic frequency, it's a need to spend more time together. It's a need to do more family activities, more date nights, more vacations or road trips if you can, more intimate interaction. And I ain't gonna lie, maybe even you know manifestations through sex, and not just as it concerns money, but as it concerns wealth and health overall. Intimacy is going to help heal, because it's some healing that needs to take place here. Because for some people, the workaholic habit is coming from a place of avoidance. Whoever the workaholic is, they're trying to avoid talking about something. They're trying to avoid expressing something that concerns emotions. I'm hearing pain. It's something going on there that the workaholic individual is avoiding confronting. And that's why the divine realm is kind of taking a hit at what they've been valuing more, which is money. And like I said, in order to redirect them back to what matters. And specifically, so that whatever it is that they've been trying to avoid that is emotional and spiritual, that needs to be confronted and released. So what can happen? Like I just said, confronted and released so that more high vibrational wealth and health can come through. But child, I have milked this cow dry. And you know I thoroughly appreciate the exchange of vibes. And I hope it all synchronized. And if it did, please do your best to like, share, and come on back through for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.